AMD unveiled its new MI300 data center chip this past week. It's an ultra-powerful AI accelerator, years in the making. CEO Dr. Lisa Su joined Yahoo Finance to discuss the complex processor and booming AI chip demand. Su highlighted the MI300's record 153 billion transistors, calling it the most complex chip in the industry. With AI adoption surging, she says extremely robust GPUs like MI300 are essential for businesses, cloud platforms, and researchers. Regarding the stock, it seemed like yesterday the stock was trading at roughly $100. Since then, it has surged and now is approaching a key resistance level at 135. However, let's check out this video on Yahoo as Lisa Su discusses their new chip.
Chip, frankly, in the industry. And the way you do it is, let's call it, with a lot of technologies. So we're super excited about the capabilities of, MI300. If you think about just how important AI has become, right? AI is like in every conversation, no matter which industry you're in, no matter what you're trying to do. And for AI, you need these extremely powerful GPUs. And there are very, very few companies who can build these things. And I'm just, so excited and really, love being part of the opportunity to really change the industry with our AI tech.
How long does it take to come up with a chip that has 153 billion transistors on it?
Well, we've been working on this roadmap for over 5 years. I mean, these are the types of things, you don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to build an AI chip. But it's been a steady progress, right? I mean, you know very much what we've been able to do with our EPIC product line for all of these large data centers and cloud installations. We're on our 4th generation with, our Zen 4 technology. It's very similar on the GPU side. We're launching what we call our 3rd generation of our GPU architecture. Every generation it gets better. Every generation we work really closely with our customers and partners on how to make their software better and how to make our systems better. So yeah, it takes quite a long time to do this. But what makes today so special is it's not just it's a great product, because great products come along all the time, but it's also a great product at the right time, solving the right problem for the industry. And that's where we are with AI. AI is at the very beginning of adoption. And what's become clear is you need compute. That's the foundation of AI. And that's what we're building with MI300X. So every one of those 153 billion transistors are helping us learn, helping compute learn, helping us answer questions, and really deploying in broad scale with a lot of our partners.
So I'm watching you on stage, and I'm just blown away by some of these numbers. Look, I'm not a scientist, but all that seemed really like, wow, like this is some game-changing technology. How complex is it to manufacture these chips? And then do you have an estimate on how many you will make next year?
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I mean, it is so many process steps. I mean, if you think about these MI300s, they're actually made up of 12 little chips. We call them chiplets in 5 and 6 nanometer technology. We actually stack chips, both horizontally as well as vertically. So we bring chips on top of each other, and it takes about 7+ months, 7-8 months to manufacture. So when you start today, it takes 7 or 8 months before it comes out. So yeah, it takes a long time. Now, I have to say, we've been planning for this day. So, we're experts in the supply chain. I think in the semiconductor world, this is what we do. So we have, significant supply that's coming out in 2024. And we're working with a number of partners. You saw a number of them today. So honored to have, Microsoft, Meta, Oracle, Dell, Lenovo, Supermicro, a number of real, AI, really smart AI startups that are there. And so what we see is the ecosystem is hungry for this technology, and we're ready for it.
Lisa, are you just sold out? What's the backlog of sales look like for these chips?
Well, Brian, what we said in our last conference call is that we have very clear line of sight to $2 billion of revenue next year. But what we also said is we plan for success. From my perspective, customer demand is very high. We continue to work with our customers to deploy as quickly as possible, and we have much more supply than 2 billion. So I do believe as we go through next year, we'll be able to update those numbers.
Wow, that's some mind-blowing stuff. Let's stay on this thread of me not being a scientist. So I watched your whole presentation. I'm watching it. I continue to watch it. And I came away thinking your chips will add more power to large language models. Help us understand what these chips will let these models do that they can't do today.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Brian. So, look, I think we've all, really experienced how powerful ChatGPT and Copilot functions are in our personal lives, in our businesses, in our enterprises. We're using it within AMD to build better chips. So that's where the technology is. Now, as you guys know, sometimes when you ask, ChatGPT a question, it won't give you quite the right answer because the model doesn't have, let's call it, all of the knowledge. When you have larger models, when you actually train it on more information, it'll get more and more accurate. And so what we're working on is a technology for the next generation and the next generation. And what we're trying to do is to make this AI technology so easy to use, but so powerful that it makes all of our daily lives better. So more compute will allow you to train better models. They'll be smarter, and it'll also allow you to get answers much more quickly. So you don't have to wait. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay between when you ask the question and when you actually get the answer. We're building these chips so that that delay is as short as possible. And you can bring that computing technology everywhere you go, including in your PCs, for example.
So if we're having this conversation a year from now, what are these models doing that they aren't doing today?
I think the most important thing, Brian, is we want them to be right. We want them to be as good as possible. We want them to help us answer questions as quickly as possible. And we want the answer to be the right answer. And so these models are going to get much more accurate. They're going to be much more tuned to your data. Particularly when you think about your own personal space or your own enterprise space. And for that, you need lots and lots of GPUs. Today, it is one of those constrained resources. Our job is to make the technology better and ensure that there's plenty of opportunity for, all companies to have access to this great technology.
You've seen a lot of different advances in technology throughout the course of your career. I think you mentioned this on stage too, the creation or the start of the internet. Are companies putting in the right safeguards to protect society from these large language models, given how fast things are moving in this?
I would say that this moment is, just unlike any other moment. So, I've been in this industry, 30 plus years. We've seen a lot of great technology, but AI is a step function above that in terms of what we believe the potential is. Now, we do have to put in safeguards. I think there's a lot of work going on in that area, but the upside, far outweighs the potential risks. And, as technology companies, we're all in this together to ensure that the technology is rolled out in a very productive and capable as well as safe way. There's
been a lot of discussion since we last spoke, Lisa, on sending AI chips to China. What is your position on this?
Well, from an overall standpoint, we certainly spend a lot of time with the administration. We understand the importance of the export control regulations to, ensure that we're keeping the most advanced technologies in the United States, and we absolutely understand that. That being the case, China is also an important market, and we have a lot of great partners there. And so I think the key is, we plan to have a portfolio, and in that portfolio, we are going to be, extremely, focused on ensuring that, we have, sort of bleeding edge technology, and then we also have a broad portfolio for all applications.
And our thanks to Brian Sozzi for that in-depth interview with Lisa Su, AMD CEO.